Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So today's story is going to be about the time that I messed up on Snapchat. So let's get right into it. So this story all takes place not even that long ago. Like this is like a few months ago, maybe even less than a month. I don't even remember really. So anyway, this story all takes place on a very normal day. I was sitting alone. I was at my home. I was at my house. I was alone. No one was home, and I was super bored. And I was like, you know what? Fuck playing video games. Fuck doing whatever. Fuck going on TikTok. I'm gonna go on Omegle because, haven't been on there in a while. Let's see, let's see if anything's changed. Let's see what cool people I can meet. So I go on there, and the first few people that I was talking to were very normal. It was very normal for Omegle. Actually, it was very weird. And then I meet these two girls. Now the second girl is not important, but the first girl, we're gonna call her Zoe. So Zoe, she was a very normal girl. She was very cute. She was very pretty. I really liked her. And, we just get talking, we're talking about literally anything. We're talking about what we do in our daily lives. We're talking about, what our hobbies are. I tell her everything, about myself. And then, I'm like, hey, how old are you? Because, I want to hold this girl that I'm talking to. And she's like, oh, I'm 19. And I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 18. And she's like, oh, nice. And I'm like, yeah, and I tell her, I'm like, I think you're really cute and I think you're really pretty. It's like, oh, thank you. You're not bad looking yourself. And I was like, thank you, I guess. I'm not really sure if that is like really good or really bad. Not bad looking yourself. She could have just said I'm handsome or something like that. Anyway, so cringe. Anyway, so we get talking, and then she's like, hey, do you have Snap? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And she's like, okay, what is it? I'll add you. And I give her my Snap, and we add each other. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to other people, but I will snap you. I'll keep on snapping you. And I'm like, okay. So she skips me. And not even like 10 seconds later after skipping me, she sends me a snap. And I'm like, all right, this is how it's going to go. So, I decide to just get off of Omegle because I'm like, I may as well be snapping this girl all night. So, I'm talking to her, I'm on a Discord call with my friends too. I get on that later and I'm talking to my friends and I'm like, yo, guys, met this girl. Me and her have been snapping. And they're like, oh, where is she from? And I'm like, fuck, I don't even remember. I didn't even ask her. I don't know why I said I didn't remember. I didn't even ask her. So I'm like, damn, shoot, I don't even know. Maybe I'll ask her. And I try to ask her. I'm like, hey, where are you from? She doesn't fucking answer. She just sends me a picture of the side of her face. And I'm like, that's weird. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe she doesn't want to tell me. We'll just forget about it. So the next day comes along. I wake up and I already have a snap from her. And I'm like, okay, bet. So it's a picture of herself, with a bunch of makeup on. So I just sent a picture of myself. The first thing when I wake up, I look fucking ugly 100%. I was a fucking ugly motherfucker whenever I wake up. Anyway, going on, it was school. It was school the next day. And, I'm basically just talking to her throughout the day, talking to other people on Snap. And, the thing was, she didn't even want to have a conversation. She just wanted to send pictures of herself. Which, it makes sense. Snap is kind of, just like send pictures of yourself. But, then again, you could have a fucking conversation with me instead of just sending pictures of yourself. Like, damn, at least talk to me or something. Anyway, so the first few days of talking to her, things were fairly normal. And for, the first week, as soon as I would send a snap, she would respond instantly. And as soon as she would send one, I would respond instantly. Because, if she's going to respond to me really fast, I'm going to respond to her really fast. And then come, like a month into us, just talking, she gets progressively slower and slower at responding. First, it would take about 5 minutes. Then it would go to, 20 minutes. Then it would go up to 30 minutes. And even so, it would go up to an hour or two. And at that point, I'm like, okay, what the fuck? She went from snapping me a lot to not snapping me at all and waiting, hours. And I know what you're thinking, she lives somewhere else in the world. Why are you still talking to her? She said she was going to come to the U.S., specifically my town. She was going to come to my town in December. So I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, dude. Going to meet a girl, she's going to come down here, we'll link up. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I kept snapping her, because I was like, maybe, I'll meet her one day. And things just progressively got worse and worse. I one day sent her a snap, and I put in text, hey, do you have Instagram? And she just sent a picture of her side of her face, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, question mark? She sent another picture, and it was just a picture of her eye. So I ask again, do you have Insta? And again, she just sends a picture of her side of her face. So again, I'm like, why do you keep sending pictures of yourself? Can you please respond to me? And again, she sends a picture of her fucking wall this time. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? So I ask one more time. I'm like, do you have Insta? I put in all caps. She sends a picture of her side of her face. And I'm like, alright, you know what? Fuck this shit. And I just don't ever respond. She sends me another snap. She sends me another snap after sending me that one. I open up and I don't respond. So going on throughout the day, I was just laying in my bed, and then I get a snap from her. She sends me a snap, and I send one back. And then she texts me, and she's like, "You're so mean." And I'm like, "What the fuck did I do?" And she's like, "You leave me unopened a lot." And she puts the crying emoji, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then she's like, "Mm-hmm." And I'm like, "Hey, this is fucking funny as shit. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and send it to my friend," forgetting that I was on Snapchat. So I proceed to scroll up to where she said, like, "You're so mean" and stuff. I screenshot. And as soon as I hit the screenshot button, as soon as that happens, I just see the "you took a screenshot" thing pop up. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I fucked up so badly right now. And she sends me a text message. And she's like, why did you do that? And I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I'm being completely honest. And I'm like, sorry, I just wanted to send something to my friend. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, my bad. She's like, oh. And that was basically where that conversation ended. And at that point, I'm like, fuck, this is not good. Like, now she just thinks I'm weird. So going on, I'm like, okay, we'll just move past it. Everything will be fine. So I sent her a snap that morning because she sent me one back. And I kid you fucking not, throughout this entire school day, she didn't respond to me at all. And I even checked one time, and it said she was active. Like, it said she was active like 4 minutes ago. So I'm like, okay, why is she not responding? And she didn't respond until like 9 o'clock at night. So it took from like 6 in the morning. I sent her a snap at 6 in the morning. And she fucking finally opens it and responds at 9 at night. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? And then come to October. Now, October, I was still talking to her because I'm like, gotta keep this going. And it was October 31st. And I was out with my friends. And she sends me a snap. So I sent a snap of me and my friends because I'm like, fuck yeah, this is, why not? Just to show her I'm hanging out with some friends. And she doesn't open it. So I'm like, maybe she's doing something for Halloween too. Everyone does something for Halloween. But then it starts to get weird. As 24 hours go by, and she still hasn't opened it. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit weird, but I'll just move past it. And one day, like the very next day, she sends me a snap, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. She finally responded. So I open up, like, immediately. Well, not really. I give it like 5 minutes, just to show that I'm not constantly checking. I open it up, and it's like a fucking send it on Snap. It's like a thing where you can like type a question, and they'll respond on their story. Kind of like Instagram question things. But anyway, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I check back, I'm looking at the messages. She didn't even open mine. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, this is weird, but why didn't she open mine? But, it's whatever. And she sends me a snap the very next morning. I send her another one. And she doesn't even open the one I sent. So now there's 2 of these that are left undelivered. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on now? Like, damn, like, can she open up my snaps? And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to give it a few more days. So I just give it a few more days. She sends me snaps, doesn't even open the ones I send. And at that point, I'm like, fuck this. Screw this. I can't take this shit anymore. So I just go to her, and I just fucking click block. And I just move past, and I go on with my school day. And I was literally sitting in my school parking lot in my car as I blocked her. And I'm like, fuck this. I just go on my school day. And to this day, I have not talked to her. I do not know what happened to her. I do not know what she's doing. Hopefully she's doing good. Hopefully she's not leaving other guys undelivered, because I guarantee you I'm not the fucking only one I'm not the only guy that she left undelivered. Anyway, yeah, that's basically the end of the story. Once again, I have absolutely no game, and I can't pull for shit. Yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching, and have a great day. And I'll see y'all later. Also, sorry again for being gone for like 2 weeks straight. Just had to deal with some things. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Why you leaving me on red? May as well leave me dead. I don't want to get out of bed. I never wanted you for sex. I just wanted what was best.